All right, mixers, did you survive the great flood of 2026? We had told you last week how the basement did flood and it was a mess, and the restoration crew were coming to the house right after, and we got a little bit of an update. Some good news, some
good.
bad news.
Oh,
We'll tell you what happened.
all right. You got Elizabeth and Radar. Find out the update after Miley Cyrus. Did the rain bring flowers yet? It's the mix. Hey, flowers are alive. We are alive. Boom, 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 boom. I can buy myself flowers.
All right, mixers, what is going on? I need to bring up all my notes here from messages of advice that people have sent with the flooding basement.
Do it up, do it. You can. We just like to sing, sorry. I can love you better, baby. Oh, that's not what I want. Clicking on my phone. Clicking correctly.
All right.
Do.
All right, mixers, where are you watching us from? You at work? You at home?
Give us a little bit of feedback.
Where are you? Where are you watching the show right now?
Let's talk about it.
And how about waking up to some frost? I mean, we've had everything, I feel like. There was a blizzard that hit a few weeks ago.
That was just a month ago.
Tornado warnings, tornado touchdowns.
I was talking on Friday.
Frost.
It was April 17th. This happened on, the day before St. Patrick's Day. We had a blizzard. And now we have tornadoes. Yay, Wisconsin. Yay, Midwest. In spring.
Crazy.
Dude.
But yeah, Radar, the flowers are popping. You said that in your teeth. They are popping.
Yeah, they are coming up. Better than you can.
You never want to have water in your basement, but if it does happen to you, it's a learning experience. And since we went through it last week from the terrible storms and the flooding, I'm here to shed a little bit of light on what we've learned, things that are good, things that are bad. And so many of you mixers have really reached out and have been incredibly helpful of how to navigate through this process. It's Elizabeth and Radar here on the mix. And if you are still dealing with it, oh my gosh, does my heart go out to you? It's a mess. It's not what anybody wants to have happen. It's a homeowner's worst nightmare. I mean, that and fire, like any kind of natural disaster, it's just horrible.
Sure.
So what's happened now, when we last talked, we told you about how the water got in the basement because the sump pump completely stopped working. It just did. After 26 years, it stopped working. So note to self, if you have a 20-plus-year-old sump pump, out of sight, out of mind, like it was for us, maybe get it looked at, maybe just go ahead and get that thing updated.
You didn't have a backup? Like my sister, after this happened to her, she had a backup to the backup.
We had the old one was still there, but because of the power of the water, when our neighbor tried to fix it, it broke the pipe. So it was like, it was just bad. Also, we told you this last week. I can't stress this enough. The only reason why I knew that there was water in the basement is because we have one of these water alarms. They are a couple
Yes,
bucks from the
those are good.
hardware store. A lot of you have been messaging about that. Go pick them up. The brand that we have is the Watchdog water alarm, but they have a lot of different brands out there. And so if water touches this alarm, it will sound off. And that's what I heard before going to bed, which let me get into the basement
Mhm.
and start to get things out and start moving through the process and call some help since Eric was gone. Poor Eric, he flew in from San Antonio, and I was at the Susan G. Komen Gala where there were tornado warnings and an evacuation. I'm like, this weather's insane. Eric's at the house. He's now in the basement with my mom and dog because my mom was there as a backup to keep an eye on things.
Gosh.
And he's just like, this is insane. And he also said, he's like, I can't believe you did all this while I was gone. And I'm like, heck yeah, man, women, we could do hard things with the help of my good friend Lindsay and awesome neighbors. So restoration crew showed up to the house, Marathon Restoration, phenomenal crew. They backed up an entire dumpster. And can I just say something that they did that I don't even think they were aware of that meant a lot. And I do plan to comment on this, like on a Google review and whatnot. And I told the owner, because the owner was there, they constantly, when they were carrying our belongings soaking wet out of the basement, if they saw me standing there or anywhere around, they kept saying, we're so sorry, ma'am. We're really sorry this happened. We're really sorry that we have to do this. Like, that just meant a lot, that they're acknowledging that this is our
awful.
home. These are our memories.
When you see that happening to other people, like we saw down the street here during the state fair time flooding, I felt bad. I'm driving by going, gosh, I can't believe that. I feel bad for those people. Meanwhile, you go home to a dry home. And then Elizabeth, now you're dealing with that same situation. So yeah, we all feel that. That's awful.
And I have so much respect that one of the owners, Michelle, she and her husband own the company Marathon Restoration. She was there also ripping out my carpeting and getting off trim. And I'm like, I didn't expect to see the owner here doing this. But what she said was, she's like, we have gotten so many calls. We are so busy. We need all hands on deck. And the way that they did this, now granted, this is my situation. I don't know about yours. If your water levels were higher than mine, maybe it would be different for you.
Right.
But what they did is they took all the trim off and they poked holes everywhere where there was trim, which means the drywall still looks great. The drywall still looks the same.
You had to dry that out inside.
Which is fantastic. Yeah. And the best news, they were able to save the bar.
The bar. Well, that's number one right there. Save the bar.
Well, that's the most expensive thing that's down there.
And it's a bar. Come on, let's go
it's
here.
a bar. But no, my father-in-law, his cabinet company, and my husband, they designed it. They put it in. I mean, it's alder wood. It's probably the most expensive thing down there. And they originally were telling me, hey, you've got to clear everything out of these cabinets because we have to get back behind these walls and take all of this off, which are like, oh my gosh. Now, when I went down into the basement when they first showed up, and they're cutting squares of carpeting, they're ripping everything off. And I won't cry on the show. I'm sick of crying. I've done enough crying. I got so emotional watching this. Like, I almost had a panic attack thinking, oh my gosh, they are just ripping this whole thing up and they have to do it.
It's your life right there.
They couldn't save the pool table, which is fine. They couldn't save the couch. Well, they debated on the couch. That was sort of like, it's a big sectional. They said, do you want us to put it up on these foam? They have these foam, like,
risers,
blocks they can put this stuff on.
Sure.
And I'm like, I know how wet that couch was on the bottom. And if you get a damp day down there,
you're going to smell it.
Like, what would you have done? Because my husband,
it's gone.
Because Eric was like, I don't know. I think maybe we should have tried to save the couch. I said, I saw the waters in that basement.
Yeah, if you see that touching, now it's soaked into not only the fabric, but whatever wood frame and stuff is on there, forget it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't
start over.
And you don't know where that water came from either. No sewage, thank goodness. So now here's the not the best part. I mean, look, we're fortunate to all be okay. We are keeping that perspective. But to dry all this out, they have like 8 massive fans going right now and humidifiers with these small tubes that are taking all the water and putting it into the drain. They have every outlet on the first floor being occupied. So we have taped cords and wires going up
a lot of power
everywhere. We blew a fuse. So they kept trying to figure out how to make sure we don't blow a fuse. So we right now cannot use any power that we don't need at our house.
Oh,
So we had
wow.
to cut power to just about everything at the house. We are only turning on 2 lights at a time. I can't
You're
dry
in the
my
dark.
hair.
Oh, no.
We're in the dark. I can't dry my hair. We cannot use the washer and dryer. We can't use the dishwasher. We can't use the stove. We can't use the microwave. We cut the power to the hot tub. We cut the power to even the lights in the back. We ended up, because it was so cool, turning off the air conditioning.
Elizabeth is here at the radio station putting her makeup on, doing herself in the bathroom. And I'm like, what are you doing? I can't turn my power on.
So at one point, and I'm like the cycle that's like, I can't have anything crazy happen to this house.
Yeah.
Eric had the light on in the back hallway, the closet in the bathroom. I go upstairs. Get these lights off. What are you doing?
Turn the lights off.
We've got headlamps on our head. So we're
do not. Do you really?
We're getting by.
Oh my
but the
God.
other thing is, and I'll wrap up with this. The other thing we're dealing with, again, with the water we got in the basement, is everything appears that the bar was able to be saved. Appears we don't have to take off more drywall. The next step of what the company's going to do now is come over in the next few days, and they take what they called a moisture meter. They need to see
moisture meter.
how much did they get out, and do they get out everything that they need?
How does this meter work?
That will dictate what happens next.
So there's actually something that they stick in to see how moist things are in the walls,
What you said.
in the
I don't
in
know.
the area.
I don't know, man. I've been on the
Moisture
phone
meter.
with insurance, with age. So all you mixers are telling me download the FEMA app and call 211 to see if there's any kind of coverage from FEMA. So I need to explore that. If that gets approved, I've got to have the fire department over to do an inspection. Like, it's just been around the clock,
It's a
phone
lot of
calls,
stuff.
messages. It's a lot.
Right.
But again, we're safe. We're good. We got the valuables out, and it looks like the bar has been saved.
As long as the bar is saved, we're good to go. You wanted the bar saved.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you want a lot of things saved.
I know,
obviously. You
but-
didn't want this to happen in the first place, but
You know
hey,
what?
There's some silver lining.
There
It's-
is.
It's the bar.
There's for sure. But the doors gone, the frames of the
frame,
doors gone,
Redone.
the sink vanity.
You wanted the basement
gone.
redone anyway, right?
Really?
Yeah.
This is what I wanted. This is exactly no.
Let's update everything down here. Oh my God, that's just nasty though. That's just like, let's do it real quick then. So we have another one
Yeah.
for.
We'll stay
All
on
right,
for
here
like
we go.
cameras. You know, knowing like what was going to happen the second they got down there, and they're just ripping up your life.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what
It
I
was
was
a
like.
lot.
That's your livelihood.
It
That's
was
your
a
life.
lot. I walked.
You remember doing this? You remember the
Well,
pool
and-
table being installed? You remember the bar being installed? And now it's like we did all this,
Well,
and now this is all garbage.
And just you're thinking of costs, because when they first got down there, you're like, you don't know how bad this is going to be. And I remember I walked down, I was just taking these deep breaths, and I looked at Jacob, the project manager, and I said, I need to go upstairs. I said, this is just a lot to see.
Yeah,
and I
a lot
went
of people.
upstairs. Eric happened to call because he had a break at the conference. So I hear his voice. I start crying on the phone with him, and I was like, this is crazy. And he's like, it'll be okay. It will be okay. But they were so nice.
Yeah, that's great that they
The amount of time
really
that
had
they
the
kept
empathy there.
saying-
Like, we see this all the time, people going through this. Because think about it. Yeah, they don't show up when everything's going good. Restoration. It's like, oh, you had a sewage backup or something like that or whatever.
When I apologized, I'm like, guys, I know you're used to this, but the smell. And they looked at me and they're like, we deal with sewage. This is
this
nothing.
is like this is your sump pump crock that.
So the
but
other
still, it's outside water. And
The other thing that's happening for y'all that are watching, so they're blasting it with really, really, really hot air. Thank goodness we have this cold front coming through right now, because our house, the temperature of the house kept going up higher and higher and
all the
higher.
warm air goes up.
And the air
Yep.
conditioning is just constantly running, again, using power, not being able to cool the house down. So we ended up just turning the air conditioning off.
But at least it was like
and
40s.
opening windows, because the doors close as much as it
Yeah.
can with all of the wires that are coming out. But they aren't wanting to plug anything into the basement because, again, they're airing out wet electrical, like wet wall.
My mom had just a small problem.
The GFI outlet they're using in the bathroom.
Oh, that's good. My mom had a small problem in her apartment where there's actually a spigot that goes outside for the groundskeeper to use to water stuff, and that froze this winter, and it came through the wall and on her carpet. She got the carpeting replaced. They had to cut the wall, but she had like, oh my gosh, she had like 4 dehumidifiers, that big fan. And you don't know how many times I was texted on the way to work in the morning. I can't sleep with this noise. She likes it perfectly quiet, and I'm like, they need to keep keep it going for how long have you had your fans going?
Since Friday.
Since Friday. So it's just got that constant.
And because they're so busy with other calls,
Yeah.
they wanted to come today, but they
That's hard
their
though.
phone, it was going off around the clock when they were there with all this flooding, and they're like, "Man, we don't think we're going to be here till Wednesday." I'm like, that's
Gosh.
fine. Just keep the stuff drying out.
Man.
Keep it drying out.
Buddy. Oh, well. Need someone to keep you company? You can listen to the mix, and you can also watch the mix on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It's at 99.1 The Mix. You got Elizabeth and Radar because we are live, talking right to you. You can just look at your phone instead of scrolling, doom scrolling, as people like to do. Boom. There you go. You can take in the show and watch our reactions. It's almost like we got a face right next to you. That way you got someone with you.
It's fun that we're streaming the show. And for the Madison audience that's hearing this too, yes, we know that you all are on Mix 105.1. Well, at 99.1 The Mix, that's where we can only hook it up to one thing.
Yeah.
So you can stream us on there. You can kind of see what happens behind the scenes. You can get some insight to how we're planning things coming up. We continue our conversations a little bit more too, because we've got to play commercials at a certain time. And we've loved it. We've made so many connections even now through video, not just through the radio and through the app. Like, it's really fun to be able to do this.
And it wouldn't be possible without Door Peninsula Winery.
Yes.
We need to start drinking some Door Peninsula Winery. Some
Well,
wines. Can we
that
drink
was the
some
other
wines
thing.
while we're on here
The
to
Door-
show it off?
The Door Peninsula wine that was in the basement bar has all been saved, even though we had the flooding.
Yes.
All been saved.
Love it.
Other side note, mixers, that I learned when calling insurance and talking to the agents and stuff like that. Make sure if you have a finished basement, you ask for any kind of flooding protection you can have, because they don't all have sump pump protection. We asked for that years ago, and that's what made sure that we had coverage for this. And this guy told me, he's like, I'm denying a lot of claims right now because they don't have that specific type of coverage, which I'm like, oh my gosh. And then a friend of mine that lived in Mississippi was telling me, down in Mississippi, if you're going to get flood protection, you have to make sure you get hurricane flood protection or, tornado flood protection. Like, you have to be specific. So a little bit of loophole, make sure you do your homework. It's been exhausting, but learning a lot, and really appreciative of everyone that's offering like any of their experience and advice through this too. So we're going to get through it, but we are taking a quick commercial break here, and we will be back a little after 8 o'clock. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will talk to y'all soon.